It's been about negative 12 degrees all week in Toronto, and it's also been mostly overcast for a couple of weeks now. And as much as I'm dying to be out shooting and just working on some stuff here and there, I don't really want to right now. So here's footage of some stuff over the summer that I shot that I never used for a video.
Last year, somebody sent me 2 rolls of Kodak's black and white negative +X film in 120. And then a different person sent me a 35mm roll of +X. +X was around for a really long time, and then Kodak discontinued it in 2011. Over the summer, I shot these 3 rolls of +X in 3 different cameras, and then I never made a video about it, primarily because I was not super happy with the results. But hey, showcasing mediocre results or bad results can be just as important as showcasing good results, because it's important to know that everybody makes mistakes. Two weeks ago, I made a whole video about this big camera, the Fuji GW680. So I'm not really gonna talk about it, but I shot 1 roll of +X in this camera. +X was a nice enough film, sharp, good contrast. I guess I don't really have like a ton to say about the film's characteristics, but I just think that it is always kind of fun to shoot something that's not around anymore, but also something that was discontinued like just a few years before I got into shooting film myself. This is a picture of my bike. I really like this bike, it means a lot to me. I really fell in love with biking in Toronto last summer, and I miss it a lot, especially right now. I like this lighthouse shot a lot, but I also got it on Ektar 120 as well, and I guess that if I had to choose between the two, I prefer the color shot. I'm not exactly sure how the +X film was stored. The wrapper on the 120 rolls says 2011, I believe, and that is at least closer to the end of +X's lifespan than it is to the beginning, which is good because +X was introduced in 1954 originally. You can see some odd artifacts and spots and unevenness to this roll, and that's a pretty clear indication that it was not in like perfect shape, so it probably didn't live the past number of years in a freezer. But overall, this 6x8 roll, I really enjoyed it. For the other +X roll, I pulled out a 6x7 roll film back to use on my Intrepid 4x5 camera to really try and have a different experience while shooting this roll. I took the ferry out to Toronto Island this summer to shoot some of this stuff. For shooting with the 6x7 back on the Intrepid, I taped out the area on the ground glass for proper framing. So of the entire area that I usually have to work with when you're shooting 4x5 sheet film, I only use this portion when capturing a 6x7 frame.
Well, I've been on the island for about 4 hours and taken 4 pictures, so I think I'm about done for that with the 4x5 camera for today. Six shots. I still have 6 shots on the roll left since the island, and I've been biking around for a bit, and I have seen nothing. I've seen nothing that has really made me want to stop, set up the tripod, pull out the camera, and set it up and take a picture with the Plus X roll. All right, let's take a picture. Let's take exposure number 5. Alright, that's it. I only took 2 pictures. I only took 2 pictures of the same thing. Two different exposures of the same scene. But now there's only 4 shots left in this roll.
Unfortunately, choosing to shoot it this way kind of backfired entirely because it ended up just taking me forever to get through that one roll. Every time I wanted to shoot with it, it meant, you know, putting the Intrepid in my backpack and the holder and like the light meter, a tripod definitely as well. So it would have to be a really specific instance again where I feel like shooting medium format film in a back on a 4x5 camera. And you know what? After all that work to shoot the one roll in the 6x7 back on the Intrepid, the roll is a mess. I don't know what happened here, but I have this artifact down the entire length of the roll. I maybe have to chalk that one up to my own developing. Like, it looks like I didn't fill the tank with enough chemistry all of the way. Devastating. I don't know how that happened. At least I can digitally work to improve these shots, but it doesn't feel very good. So that's an important lesson. Even if you know what you're doing and you've done it a bunch before, you can still mess up sometimes. I don't hate these images, you know, with a bit of editing at least. The shot on the bridge of the kayaks in the water, I kind of like the ferry shot, the stuff on the clothesline here, my dad reading the novel. All shots that I would have liked a bit more if they were not a huge mess. You know what I mean? The last roll of Plus X, the 35mm roll, I believe came off of like a bulk roll, and I shot it in my Canon AT1 SLR, which is like my go-to 35mm camera. I don't know what the expiration date on this roll was, and I shot some of it out of the city while visiting my parents, and this stuff is way expired. The negative is pretty fogged from age, and there's all these spots on much of it, way worse than like either of the 120 rolls. I kind of forgot that I even scanned this, and I think I only recently looked at the actual shots from it. And there's a couple that I do like. This one shot of my friend Jeremy during softball over the summer, probably the best on the roll. There you go, Jeremy. You won best on the roll. I don't love shooting expired film, but I do understand the appeal that it has for a lot of people out there in the film community. Just the unpredictable nature of it and the mystery of how it's going to look. But I really, really love old film packaging and like advertisements, like print advertisements for film and stuff over the years. Like, damn, like something about how this box looks. I don't know. I love it. Okay, 3 shots that I really like from all of this effort. 1 from each roll. Let's go. I'll go Jeremy at softball on the 35 roll. As I said, Jeremy, you get best on the roll. Let's say this one of the bikers out at Tommy Thompson Park on the Fuji 6x8. Kind of like that one. And on the Intrepid roll, these, you know, they have a lot of character to them, at least. I don't mind Dad reading old detective novel, or The Fairy, or Clothes on Clothesline. Let's go with Dad reading detective novel. I do really like that one, of my dad reading a detective novel. I'm maybe a little biased because of the subject, though. You know what? Actually, this fairy shot isn't bad because the side that the artifact is on is at the bottom of the frame, so it just kind of looks like a shadow in the water. Also, the clothesline ones, the weird artifact on that edge of the film is in the grass as well. So you know what? That just kind of looks like a shadow. Overall, I think that all of these images paint a very vivid picture of the summer that I shot some plus X film, and some of them came out okay. Yep. Shooting film is weird, and sometimes things are good and sometimes things are bad, but thank you to the people that have sent me plus X film. I'm probably good in the future. Somebody a little while ago sent me some Panatomic X film, which is also another older Kodak black and white film. That stuff is from like the 70s and the 80s. So later this year, maybe in the summer, I'll do the same thing. 2 rolls, 2 cameras. One is a 35 and one is a medium format, so they have to be in 2 different cameras. Check down in the description below for some links to some stuff for the channel, Patreon, some merch, and yeah, I developed this stuff myself, all to varying degrees of success. And thanks so much, and I'll see you guys soon.